let's jump out on that Western Pizza guest hotline. Joining us right now, Macklin, Saskatchewan's own University of North Dakota Fighting Hawks forward, NCHC Rookie of the Year, Cole Reschny. Thanks so much for taking the time, Cole.
No, thanks for having me.
So, it's got to be a pretty important moment for you right now when you look back at your freshman season as a whole with the North Dakota Fighting Hawks, of course. How would you describe for yourself, both personally, on the ice, how did you feel you fared?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great year. A great year for myself, a great year for the team, I think. Obviously, we didn't complete our goal, which was winning a national championship. We took steps as a program. I took steps as a player and as a person, so I think overall it was a pretty good year, and it's a special place, so it was awesome.
You know, that's a tough conference to be in, especially as a freshman coming in, showing what you got. What do you think you improved most from the start of the season to where you finished in your personal game? Where do you think you saw the most improvement?
Yeah, I think just kind of growing my overall game, my 200-foot game is something I take a lot of pride in, but leaving the Western Hockey League and going to play NCAA hockey, especially in the NCHC, was a big part of that. It was going to play bigger, older, stronger, faster players and learn to play against them and learn to succeed at that level. And I think that was a big part of this year for me, was building my game at that level and trying to succeed as much as I can. And I thought it was a good test for me, and I think I fared pretty well.
Cole Reschny, would you then agree that the NCAA experience thus far has been what you thought it would be?
Yeah, for sure. I think as hard as it was to leave, Victoria and the CHL, just because I had success there, I was comfortable there. Leaving there was tough because of the relationships I had, and I think we would have had a good team. But making the jump was great, and I think it's the test I needed. And, yeah, I think the NCAA is all it lives up to.
Sometimes as a coach in minor hockey or when you're developing a program, you talk about getting as much game experience for your athletes as you can. You actually had 36 games in NCAA hockey this past year, which is a far cry from what you played in the Western Hockey League. How was that a benefit or advantage to you?
Yeah, I think that was part of going to the NCAA too, was I get the right time to work on my body, off the ice, in the gym, the right nutrition, a little better travel than on the bus for those hours. So I think that was part of it was you're not playing as much, but you get that much more practice time. You get the time in the gym. And I mean, 36 games all year, plus the ones at World Juniors, I think it was plenty enough. And I think I took a step growth-wise with my body in the gym and nutrition-wise too.
And probably a little schoolwork in there too, hey?
Yeah, for sure. That too.
So the Fighting Hawks reached the Frozen Four for the first time in a decade. You were part of that roster, Cole. What was it like? Just compare that for us. You talked a little bit about your time in the CHL, obviously NCAA. How different did that stage feel in the Frozen Four compared to the rest of the season? Yeah,
I mean, it's big. It's what you play for at the start of the year to be there in that tournament. Like I said, it was unfortunate. We came up short and couldn't win, but no, it's pretty cool. I think that's the biggest stage in college hockey, is going to the Frozen Four and playing there. I mean, it being in Vegas was that much more hype around it and kind of all that. But it was great. I mean, it's big stage, but that's the kind of games you want to play, and that's what I feel like I succeed most, is in the big games. And it's exciting. That's the expectation every year. I think especially for a program like North Dakota, they have the ability to be there every year, and that's the expectation now.
5 goals, 8 assists in the World Juniors is what you mentioned in the 8 games that you played with Team Canada. Can you explain to me the psyche and mental fortitude that it takes to come up big in those big games? Because it's one and done, right? Whether you're talking the World Juniors, the Frozen Four, you don't get this luxury of a 7-game series that you might in the Western Hockey League.
Yeah, that's kind of hitting a nail on the head. It's tough with these one-off games. You never know what's going to happen. You don't have the 7 games. You can't make mistakes. And I think that's where we kind of slid this year. We didn't have a great start to our game against something there and fell behind and just ultimately came up short. But no, I think it just tests you as a player, as a team. You don't have time to make mistakes. You got to be better than the other team. It's one-offs. It's tough. So it's exciting though. That's what makes hockey great is you don't know what's going to happen. So no, I think it's big, and to be able to play big in those games is huge. So I just try to do my best.
Cole Reschny, you talked about the opportunity you had to improve individually and physically predominantly. What about the mental side of the hockey game? Like, you've gone through so many different coaches over the last number of years, whether that's internationally at the Western Hockey League and now at the NCAA level. How has that improved your mental game in that you can adapt to maybe other systems that are thrust upon you in a short amount of time?
Yeah, I think it's great. Any chance you get to play for play for different coaches and with different players, it gives you an opportunity to see a different side of the game, maybe work on some different things. And no, I think it's great. I've been very fortunate to be on good teams with great coaches, and no, I think it's huge for your development. I mean, on the mental side of the game, I just try to stick with what makes me who I am and the way I carry myself day to day, trying to go to the rink and get better every single day. And it's honestly not hard at North Dakota. We have world-class facilities. We talked about it. The coaching staff, the trainers, everything around it is world-class. So, I think the mental side of the game is hard at times, but at the same time, you just kind of do your thing and stick with it and trust the process, and things often go your way then.
UND Fighting Hawks forward Macklin, Saskatchewan's own Cole Reschny joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Now, Cole, after the year that you had, a strong freshman season, there's always going to be that noise, that speculation of, okay, what's next? Are you thinking pro? Are you thinking you're returning to school? Has there been any decisions made at this point?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, obviously your end goal is to play in the NHL and play for a long time and be a difference maker, making a living there. But for me, I kind of went through that process of weighing out the pros and cons, and I'm going to be going back to North Dakota for another year. I think it's the right thing for me. I do believe we're going to have a very strong team. I can be a leader on that team. We'll be a bit younger, but no, I think we'll be making a push to, like I said, it's a standard to go all the way and expectations. But I'm excited. I think the way I grew this year, I think I have it in store to have a big year and be one of the best players in the league. So I can't wait. Like I said, I think we're going to have a great team, so it's exciting.
I don't know about you, Tegan, but I can hear a whole lot of people cheering in North Dakota all of a sudden, Cole. That's pretty good news for them. When you had to factor in this decision, you made a lot of big, tough decisions in the last couple of years, and you're a teenager. Who do you draw upon, or who do you talk to help you make these decisions that can't be easy?
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, these are decisions you got to make and live with, and I think it's just I have full confidence in myself with whatever decision I make. I'm gonna take it and run with it and succeed. But I do have a nice kind of group of people around me to support me with that. With that being my parents, advisors, and close people to me. I think it's huge to kind of talk it. And I made sure to take my time and weigh out the options and make sure I was doing what was right for me and my hockey career. And that's going back. So I can't wait. Like I said, I think another year for me is just going to have me that much more ready to play pro hockey one day. And no, I'm very excited.
We love following Saskatchewan athletes here in the SportsCage. So obviously we've been following you for a long time. And it seems no matter what level you play, you find a way to excel. You find a way to make the most of those opportunities, whatever the stage might be. Is there ever any adversity that you faced, like even in the last year at playing NCAA hockey for the first time? Is there adversity you had to overcome to get to the level of success that we've been used to watching you achieve?
Yeah, I don't think, it's tough sometimes. There's a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. sometimes long summers. And I think with my mindset and the way I think, it's just trusting the process, like I said. There are some dark days where you don't want to get out of bed, but I mean, just having that mindset to kind of go to the rink and spend time with the people you enjoy being around, playing the game you love, it just what motivates me to be the best. And going to the rink every day, getting better. Like I said, in North Dakota, it's honestly not hard to go there and have fun and do it with a smile on your face the whole time because of the people we have around there, the support staff, the facilities. We're pretty lucky. So, I mean, yeah, it's not all highs. There's some lows too, but just sticking with it and trusting the process, like I said, it's going to go your way eventually.
So what does this offseason look like for Cole Reschny? Do you have any goals that you've set for yourself before you hit the ice again next season?
Yeah, for sure. I want to be a better player hitting the ice next season. I think I'm going to expect a big year out of myself, and that starts with the off season right now and putting in the work off the ice, but also on the ice, mental side of the game too. And that'll be talking with Calgary and making sure I'm doing what I need to do to prepare myself for next season, to prepare myself to play pro hockey one day, and what I need to do to play in the NHL. And I think there's some goals in mind for this summer, and it's going to be a big focus of mine to have a monster year next year.
And I mean, hey, you got NHL playoffs to look forward to, so lots of TV to watch.
100%.
So what I'm hearing is that you're not going to spend a lot of time out at Macklin Lake in the regional park there. You're going to be working this summer. Yeah, no, I don't think it might be spending a lot more time in Calgary at the gym, at the rink. So you talked about some off-season goals. Are those all numerical? Like in the fact that I want to be able to reach this goal as far as skating or bench press, whatever the case might be?
Yeah, I think it's lots of talking with Calgary, talking with like I said, my support staff, and making sure I'm doing what I need to be doing. And skating will be one of those things at the top of my list to improve. And you just look at the game nowadays, how fast it's played and how skilled everyone is. And I'm not the biggest player myself, so putting that muscle mass on in the gym is going to be a big thing, but speed's key, so a lot of work on that this summer.
You know, if I could have rolled back time to when your name was called by the Victoria Royals in the WHL draft, and I said, you look a few years down the road and you're going to be spending your off season after competing with the UND at the Frozen Four and working closely with the Calgary Flames to make sure that you get your game right, what would you have said back then to yourself if that was the case?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I think at the time, at that age, it's only a dream to play in the NHL one day, and kind of hitting the steps of playing in Saskatoon for the Blazers, and then going to Victoria, and with the rule change of NCAA players, or CHL players going to play NCAA hockey, it's been a whirlwind, and I'm excited. No, I think looking back on it, those were all milestones that I needed, and the dream's only getting closer, but there's a lot of work ahead of me still, and that's why I'm focused on the present and where I'm at. So right now it's the off season after a good season, and then kind of having a big season next year will be the next step. So this first one is focusing on the off season here and what I need to work on.
Can I ask the typical Macklin Saskatchewan question?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever played Bunnock? And if you have, would you be able to explain the rules to me?
You know what? I haven't played for a long time now. It's been a while, but I have played before. Just with being away lots in the summer, being busy, I haven't got to play for a while. But I don't know. It's pretty much there's like I want to say 24, 23 horse ankle bones that you line up, and you got to toss the other ones. You have 6 red ones that you toss at the white and blue ones. Got to knock them all down before the other team. It's pretty interesting, but I haven't played it for a while now.
Well, you got to bring it to the UND dorm rooms next year. Come on.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to get all those horses in. Come on, Tegan. That's not going to work. Be serious here.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that if you can excel at horseshoes at the family picnic, Cole, I have it on good authority that you can play bunnock to a high level.
Yeah.
See?
It's one of those things you just don't lose, hey?
Get serious here. This is the sports cage, for heaven's sake.
Cole Reschny, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. Have the best off season, and we look forward to seeing you back on the ice next year.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.